My name's Ivor Flint, and I've lived in Kensal House for over 40 years. And my connection with Spid goes back, quite a few decades now. And Spid, actually at the time, had all of the right things in terms of their community outreach experience, and the kind of projects they were offering were in line very much with the kind of thing that we wanted. They've run all sorts of events and classes for children, for adults.
We use this building for the children.
Those theatre projects have also gained a lot of traction in the press, and I believe won quite a few awards actually, which is not something that you can say, I think, probably for your average housing estate. Amongst the many positive things Spid have done, they've offered a lot of young people opportunities that they probably wouldn't have had if we not had that space, not just to our residents but also to the wider community.
If this was taken away, I would not be happy. I'd probably start a protest.
We want to show the value of council estates. At the moment, more than 100 of them in London are being earmarked for demolition. We believe that the people living and working in social housing need to be empowered.
Now, for 15 years, a community theatre group has been based in rundown rooms in North Kensington. It sits in the shadow of Grenfell Tower, and after the fire, the charity helped many young people to deal with their trauma.
The saddest thing about what happened at Grenfell was that people weren't listened to.
The producers of this play describe it as a listening project.
We truly believe that the best type of theatre is theatre that works in council estate community spaces.
Welcome, thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Vanessa.
And do tell us what you've been doing.
If you walk around Lancaster West and Grenfell Tower, the graffiti is very telling. You'll see these homemade logos everywhere. Justice for Grenfell, love Grenfell, Grenfell community, always with a big heart. Love is what survives. We have to listen to and learn from and remember that love. You cannot persist ignoring people if you understand their stories.
Unfortunately, the community rooms downstairs have actually suffered very badly from leaks, and there's been decades of poor maintenance and poor upkeep. Spid have kept on top of it and done the very best they could, but this was really just as a stopgap until we were able to raise sufficient money to actually have the job done properly. But of course this is dependent on making sure that everything above Spid is actually dry and secure and safe, and there is no water ingress from above, no water ingress from the roof, and no sewage leaks that are coming from some of the flats where there's been blockages, because that obviously will penetrate through down into the building, down into the basement, and come into the floor area that's occupied by Spid, which we can't really have. The leaks have been going on for a very long time, years actually, and sometimes it's meant that the space has been unusable because someone's had to go in and clear up the leaks, and they have been big. We're talking big floods here. Just atrocious negligence on behalf of the landlord.
The windows over here are full of broken glass, full of mould.
The Kensal House community rooms are badly in need of some TLC.
This is our backstage area, and at the moment it's really underused. You can see it's really cold, it doesn't have proper flooring.
They are at best dilapidated and at worst dangerous.
You can see that the leak is coming in really close to the light fitting, which makes it extra high risk.
Here we are again. Flooding at Kensal House. Regular occurrence. So, any doubt as to how deep that is? Pretty deep.
flood about 4 months ago, which actually covered the entire flats. And then we spoke to the council with regards to what is happening, in number 50 Council House. And they said to us they will rehouse us almost immediately.
Well, because of electricity and water damage don't go, it will essentially just ruin everything and cost a lot of money.
People are having shower upstairs. It came all the way down here. So that's why they're having that leakage downstairs. So this is a complete nightmare. This block of flat could fall one day and kill people if they don't do anything about it.
We moved into a perfect looking flat. It had no floor, but we were happy with that. We had no warnings of what was to come, the nightmare place that Kensal House would become. But behind the white wall that looked so neat, there was a hidden problem that we didn't meet. The old 1930s wallpaper. That was the root of our misery. And as they peeled it off, we saw a sight that filled our hearts with horror and fright. A message written in blood and tears that said, "We've been trapped here for so many years."
I'm thinking, staring at the step, how am I going to get in there? But then we worked it out. Eleanor, myself and the other few people had to go to the recycling bins to find a wooden ramp, and we made it because, they didn't want me to just turn up and then go back home.
They've given planning permission for a lift, yet they want Spid to be covering the cost. Kensal and Grenfell share a landlord that fails to fulfil minimal access and safety. It's time RBKC paid for their negligence.
For young people like me who rely on Spid's award-winning free arts programmes, this is devastating.
And I'm very proud to be taking legal action against RBKC for their negligence of Kensal.
We brought in this money to bring this community space that they've neglected up to standard, and they couldn't even fix the leaks by August 21 when they promised. We waited and waited and waited, and in the end we had to start in June 22.
We're fighting so hard to restore it and bring it back to its former glory.
We have made excellent progress with how we've made the stairs. So we've completely shaped the stairs and removed them here. So so the stairs used to come down here, they're now here to make way for the lift that we've got ready and prepped. We just haven't installed because of the delays that we've had.
So you can see when looking around this site that the lift was due to be installed, the staircase had been moved, it was all ready to go, but we can't put it in. The disabled access corridor has been dug out, it's been prepared, but we can't even put the doors on. And inside everything has been abandoned, even though the beautiful windows have been reinstated. The reason for this is that compensation is long overdue.
But we are doing everything we can, and we take it really seriously.
Are you doing it quick enough though?
Spid Theatre Group have announced that they're going to have to close due to deteriorating conditions of the building. The group managed to raise 2.6 million, extraordinary amount, from donations and grants to renovate the community rooms in 2021, but delays on the council part, persistent leaks, means that the theatre cannot continue to operate.
The Spid Theatre has been pushing for this refurbishment for 18 years. It's taken 7 years to get this far after all the obstacles from the council, and finally we and the contractors have run out of money.
Well, we'll continue to keep an eye on this and see what happens next.
The future of a respected community theatre is uncertain because of a row about who should pay for repairs to its building. Spid Theatre in northwest London raised more than £2.5 million for renovations, but it says it's been forced to pay for work that should have been carried out by Kensington and Chelsea Council.
Home to council tenants and a celebrated community theatre. As Kensington and Chelsea Council grappled with how to mend the building, Spid Community Theatre rallied and raised an impressive £2.6 million for vital renovations, aiming to breathe new life into the theatre space. But as work began, problems arose.
I'd say we all feel heartbroken.
Spid Theatre, which stands for Social, Progressive, Interconnected and Diverse, now alleges much of the money raised has been wasted on fixing problems the council should have paid for.
But this refurbishment has ground to a standstill.
The theatre is now looking for compensation.
We used the money having to pay for negligence that we discovered. Things like waiting for the council to fix the leaks while the costs of contractors and all their materials go up. We just need the council to do their job and step up.
Formed almost 2 decades ago, Spid Theatre is a much-loved and respected community group that provides performance opportunities to young people in northwest London. Campaigners say the council's lack of action has cost the theatre and community dearly. The council says the problems with the building are complex, which makes finding an affordable solution a challenge.
I think they've got a case, but we are currently in mediation with the theatre, and we're very willing to work with them to identify what these costs are at the moment, because it's important for us to support the theatre. The theatre provides a fantastic service as far as the community is concerned, and it's something we've supported. Something we've supported from day one. When they raised the money, we gave additional lease and support in order to do that. But we want to see them succeed and flourish.
As mediation continues, the theatre remains in limbo, with no end in sight and no funds to finish. Luke Hanrahan, BBC London.
Spid Theatre stand tall, offering the young generation a realm of endless opportunities. Together we seek the reinforcements in our battle against the council, a call of compensate and compassion.